Are we live? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, it's actually afternoon. Oh, shit.
The weird thing about this.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How you guys doing? I wanted to come on and hang out for a little bit and talk a little bit about Tim Pool and then some other random stories. Tim Pool had said apparently his place was shot up. I think last night. We'll take a look at his post. Tim Pool. Isn't that crazy, man? People targeting. Supposedly, I think it said a vehicle had approached this house last night and our property and opened fire. No one was hurt. Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to appropriate law enforcement. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil. Pretty wild, man. I wonder, does he podcast from his home? A lot of people probably knows where he lives, but it's not hard to find where people live. I wonder if he podcast. I thought he does podcast from his house. I'm not sure. And so, it's hit mainstream, some of the mainstream media. People are talking about it. Pretty scary. I don't know if I'd be able to leave the house if I was Tim, man. I'd probably have, like he has, I guess, if he can afford it. I guess he can. Security 24/7. Everything's being delivered to the house. I wonder if he'll release the video. Will he drop the video about what happened over there at his house? Let me check Twitch real quick. Twitch keeps getting the wrong title. Yeah. I don't know what to do about Twitch, but see if I can fix it real quick. Bloop. How you guys doing today, man? How you guys doing this weekend? To me, it's a first of all, beautiful weekend, beautiful weather. It's chill. I'm doing laundry. I was watering the plants. I met one of my really nosy ass neighbors. Nice people, but I realized they've been watching me, my patterns all this time. But nice people, older people. But yeah, no, this is crazy, scary. These people are unhinged. It's unclear if Poole or his family were home at the time of the shooting. It's unclear where the shooting happened. Poole's media empire is based in West Virginia, but he has ties to Tennessee, public records show. My immediate thoughts is someone is trying to scare us, he followed up. We have a security gate and armed guards, and it's possible this deterred something more serious. Wow. Somebody said MAGA on MAGA violence. Now they're saying, because yesterday I covered the pipe bomb suspect, that there was articles that came out saying that, he's a MAGA person. He's a MAGA supporter. I was like, oh, shit. And he was sympathetic towards Trump and all this stuff, and he thought the election was rigged. Well, now they're saying, some other source, who knows what's true, that he's not MAGA and that he's autistic and he walks his dog every day or some bullshit. He's not MAGA. And I feel like they're throwing the label of autism on everybody. Just like ADHD, ADD. We're all fucking autistic, apparently. We all get ADHD. If some crazy shit ever happens to me, I'm just going to say mental health, autism, and ADHD. And see if they just put me in a program and get me off. It's crazy. And the only thing, it's great that he has the security. It's amazing. But imagine the up-and-coming people that don't have the security or the funds to protect themselves, the danger that they could be in. Poole has an army of 1.5 million fans on YouTube where he discusses right-wing political topics while wearing his signature beanie. The Democrat turned Republican owns a publishing empire in the West Virginia, which has 6 shows, including his own. Is this one of Candace Owens' people? Does Candace Owens have her people teach him a lesson? Or is this the French government? Or Israel? Is Israel putting out a hit or sending a shot warning to Tim Pool? Even People.com is covering it. Everybody's covering it. And I wonder what kind of vehicle. I guess I'm assuming they didn't get a face of the person that shot. What kind of gun was used? Scary times. Now they're saying, because they were saying that, remember again, yesterday, I did a live stream, a very short live. They said he was a Trump supporter. Now it's changed up. The pipe bomb suspect, he's autistic-like. How a Chihuahua walking autistic-like pipe bomb suspect stumped Biden's FBI for years. How did that happen? How? And they said it wasn't new evidence. It was all old stuff. No new tip came in, no new information. They just looked at the old information. And they say he confessed. Relatives, neighbors, and sources familiar to the investigation who spoke with the Post have also painted the picture of a naive young man, likely on the autism spectrum. Wow. Who wouldn't have thrown up red flags while trotting out a pet Chihuahua for walks near his family's home in Woodbridge, Virginia. I told you he lived with his parents. That was the first thing I said. Living in mommy's house, mommy and daddy. I had a feeling before we even knew any of this shit. I knew somebody, that big ass mansion, some little spoiled brat that lived with his mommy and daddy. He's almost autistic-like. He doesn't understand a lot of stuff. He understands enough to make and create and plant these bombs. The only mistake he made, I guess it didn't detonate, but they said the explosions were viable. Cole's grandmother, when reached by phone for comment, said he's not a terrorist. He's very naive. He would not hurt a fly. Wow. He's the sweetest boy ever. The affidavit filed Thursday highlighted how video surveillance camera of the suspect's cell phone data and purchasing history that matched the component. That was kind of like, I was surprised too that he used his own credit cards, you know, to make the purchases. Voter data, federal campaign finance records and voter data hasn't pointed to Cole having strong political views, either, with some sources indicating he believed that the 2020 presidential election was stolen from Donald Trump, but he also made conflicting statements during a 4-hour interview with investigators Thursday when he copped to the crime. A national Republican operative also insisted to the Post on Friday that there was zero indication that Cole was a Trump voter. Cole did not appear to have been registered with either party in Virginia and did not vote in the primary races. Okay. Wow. Yeah. FBI Director Christopher Wray. Former FBI Director Christopher Wray, who served under both Trump and Biden, testified to Congress that the Bureau had seemingly exhausted its leads for the case by July 2023. They've went through all the leads. They've explored all avenues. I guess not. Patel claimed on Thursday that Biden sat on evidence for 4 years. Wow. Then I saw Brandon Tatum. He posted this video, and apparently this is the suspect's father in 2021, a clip of Brian Cole Sr. standing right behind Ben Crump. Wow, Ben Crump is everywhere. Race hustler. Cole begged the Biden DOJ to stop a DA from investigating his bail bond business and screamed, "Racism!" Zero evidence of this was ever found. Crump always shows up for the schemers. Let's see what he said here.
The final person you will hear from before we engage in your questions would be Mr. Brian Cole, the president of Free at Last Bail Bond Company. Mr. Cole.
Yes, I've done business all over the United States. I'm in 20 states, and I've never met the opposition that I've met with Zimmerman coming after our company the way he has. He's defamed me. He's called my insurance company He's, went above and beyond, going to other jurisdictions, defaming me and Mr. Holmes. I've never seen this before, and we hope that the Department of Justice can come in and do a brief investigation, because what we see and what we've seen is a lot of questionable acts that Mr. Zimmerman has demonstrated towards minority-owned companies. So please, I just hope they would come in and investigate and look at his actions on what he's done towards, minority-owned companies.
Wow.
The final
crazy.
person you
That's crazy. That is crazy. Benny Johnson also posted this and said January 6th pipe bomb terrorist was a young black guy, radical anti-Trump activist, sued Trump and ICE and DHS. I didn't know that. Extreme racial justice advocate. Works at his family bail bonds company that frees criminals from aliens from ICE custody. Yeah, this explains why the FBI and DOJ could not find this guy for 4 years. The Biden FBI had mountains of evidence against Brian Cole, receipts, cell data, license plate, photos, and videos of the crime. They knew exactly who did it. But Brian's profile destroys their entire MAGA white supremacist insurrection bomber narrative in one blow. There was kind of this funny clip, too. Apparently, Jake Tapper had apologized, or not apologized. That's too far for an apology. Let me retract that. I think he just retracted or something because he said the suspect was white or something like that. I don't think he apologized, but this is kind of funny. This clip here.
Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the D.C. suburbs, is charged with transporting an explosive device in interstate commerce and with malicious destruction. Brian Cole Jr.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I just can't see. This one kind of goes hand in hand too. It's just a fishing boat. Just a fishing boat. That's all. And a white guy. Also, Milo. How you say his last name? Yiannopoulos, I think. He's been kind of going. So I don't know if you guys knew, he did a podcast with Tucker Carlson recently. I started listening this morning. The whole episode, well, I only saw the beginning, but it's the whole, why are you gay? I wonder if Tucker had just found out about this meme and podcast. It was really funny. Why are you gay? The classic. But that was kind of what the episode was about. And then he had Milo on there. Why are you gay?
Clips on the internet, fat kid falls off bike being, of course, the top of the list. Really, in the last 13 years this week, almost nothing created on this planet has surpassed in popularity or sheer hilarity an interview that took place on Ugandan television in December of 2012 on a show called Morning Breeze. The morning woman who, and if you don't know what we're talking about, here is a 2-second clip that reveals the essence of the conversation.
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay?
It's a very classic, hilarious. If you're bored and you've never seen it before, I think it's like an hour long. And it was a real serious conversation. Why are you gay? It's really hilarious. If you've never seen it, you should check it out sometime. But anyway, so he had Milo on the episode, and I guess the conversation is talking about where does that come from? You know, why are people gay or whatever? And Milo's theory, he feels that it's either through some trauma. Mostly, I think he said trauma is what he said, where he thought it comes from. But Milo's trying to make a comeback now because he kind of like retired. Now he's unretired, and he's taking Candace Owens' side. And he also did a podcast on Tim Pool. recently. Tim Pool, I haven't watched out any of it. I only saw a clip where he had said that he believes Charlie Kirk was gay. I was like, what? But people are upset because, like, they're saying, well, why are you bringing that up now? I think he's just saying the craziest shit possible, even if he was or whatever. I mean, who cares? I mean, now he's passed away. But Candace had said that supposedly he was going to divorce Erica, Charlie. And then Milo throws in there that, oh, I think he's gay.
I'm always a couple of days behind watching on the show because I've got stuff going on. But somebody tweeted today that Candace said that she believed that they were about to get a divorce. I think he was gay. I think he was gay. And
come on, you know that you do know that I've criticized. What? Like I'm sorry, Tim, but like, why would you even go there? Like to say something like that?
Oh, I'll tell you why.
No. The man's dead. You're calling now. You think he's gay.
That's when people can tell the truth. I'm always a couple of days behind watching on the show because I've got stuff going on.
I don't know. I think he's just saying like the most wild thing possible. Edgelording. I think just to get attention and kind of make a comeback. And he's kissing Candace Owens' ass, I think, also. Because Candace had this one of the conspiracy things that she had. I know a lot of people love Candace. I don't support her on this crazy conspiracy thing with Charlie. I think it's just gone so far out there. Another thing that she had said is all these people dressed in maroon shirts and that they're in on it or something.
There was something that I kept noticing. A weird amount of young men were alone at this event and they were wearing maroon shirts. In fact, so many of these young men that I was coming across were wearing maroon that at first I legitimately assumed that it had to have been one of the UVU colors. I asked this question so innocently. I was like, to someone at UVU, I was like, oh, are your school colors maroon? And he comes back and he said, no, they're green and white. So my gut told me, okay, that's interesting because maroon is not exactly a highly ranked color for men, okay? And it can't be that all of these men that are wearing maroon also happen to have attended this event alone. So I'm going to show you there was something that I kept.
I don't know, man. I think she's so far gone out there. Candace Owens. And the other thing now, she's saying that the other reason she's saying that she can't go to Phoenix to do the in-person TPUSA, live stream interview questionnaire is because her husband won't let her travel. She's saying now that her husband won't let her travel.
The assumption is that you are live streaming because you want the internet to be able to attend, right? That's the whole purpose and function of live streaming an event is that it invites everybody to be able to attend. So when you extend an invitation of live streaming and you don't explicitly say it must be in person, why would I assume that you're going to rescind the offer if I say that I can appear via live stream? Okay. They never said that when they made the offer and they were pretending that they were being sincere. They never made in person a point of their demands. They never also said that I had to respond within 24 hours. That's a hostage situation, okay? There's no way that I could have accommodated all of that. In a million years, 24 hours to respond. How about, let me see if I can make that work. Even if I could have made it work, which I couldn't have, because my husband instantly said, no, you cannot do this Monday. And he runs the household and he has an important thing going on that day, which involves people that are coming in from overseas. But even if I could have made that work, I would not have within 24 hours have confirmed to them if they had even sent me an email. Because I have kids, I would have had organized things, and it would have just taken longer than 24 hours, and they knew that. It is not my inclination to go to Phoenix without having my team with me. And my husband is very much a part of my team. But I will say that I will raise it further with the Supreme Court of George Farber. If you are insinuating, and actually if you can confirm that you are saying that you will allow me, as you said further in this, to bring whatever it is because it would be more authentic if it was face-to-face. If you're saying that I don't have to deal with you and this is actually going to be very open and I can ask every question under the sun, I might beg, I might beg.
Might beg? What? I don't know, man. She says she's open to begging her husband. I don't know. I would love to see it, man. I think it needs to happen. I think everybody on any side wants to see this happen. But some people had said, too, that she's worried about her safety and security. And check this out. This is from Kino Casino. These guys are pretty funny. I listen to them from time to time.
So, if you remember, last week, Candace Owens said that she had to go into hiding because she was in fear for her life because French assassins of Emmanuel Macron were coming to kill her.
Okay.
Now, Candace going into hiding, it turned out she was hiding at the Dollywood theme park in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Pigeon Forge?
She is spotted at the Dollywood safe house where a fan of hers took a photo with her. So this is my daughter's best friend went to Tennessee for Thanksgiving. They spent yesterday at Dollywood. Guess who she ran into? Yep, Candace Owens out in the open.
What's
in
Dollywood?
a public place. So it's Dolly Parton's amusement park.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a pretty big deal. Yeah,
I've heard of it. I thought it was something else, like an album or something. All right, cool.
Okay, so this is holy shit. Candace Owens' top supporter just confirmed Candace was in fact at Dollywood over the Thanksgiving break. She was out in public with family, carefree, taking photos while making her fans think her life was in danger. She never took her assassination threat seriously. Between this and her admission that she didn't properly report the threats, I think it's safe to say that Candace's house of lies is starting to crumble. Her supporters are scrambling to make excuses, but they know this looks very bad. Well, one of the supporters came out. They're sweeping as hard as they can. First off, she wasn't in hiding. She took the week off. It's literally Thanksgiving week. Secondly, going to an amusement park that implements a 100% security check on every person there is probably one of the safest things she could have done with her family.
Yes.
Why do you? This is the safest thing she could have done. So don't even worry. They checked it. It's the safest thing she could have been. Okay. So Candace Owens was finally ready to present the proof of all of her claims. This is what Candace Owens came up with, okay? This is her proof that the French government planned to assassinate her. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Foremost, if you were one of the people online who believed for a single second that it was even a remote possibility that I simply made up a French assassination attempt heading into Thanksgiving week.
Couldn't be. I just could have made it up? No. There's no chance of that. So for those of you who thought that there was even the remotest slight...
I mean, she could be doing all this stuff on purpose. Like, she knows better, but she's just getting everybody riled up. You know, the internet's eating. You know what I'm saying? It's the holidays. News is not really crazy right now. Kind of. It's not really crazy right now. The news right now. And this is the next thing after the French, with all the scandal with the French president and his wife and the lawsuit and whatever.
Slightest possibility that Candace Owens was making any of this up. She has the receipts right now.
Okay.
Or like attention or something, a claim which has gone viral. When I say viral, I mean...
She goes, oh, I did it for attention. She's like, I would never have done it for attention. That doesn't make sense. Then proceeds to list exactly how viral it went. Proceeds to talk about exactly how much attention she got. But she couldn't have possibly done it for attention.
She's feeding the net, right? She's feeding the streets. She's feeding me right now. A little bit. I'm on my second channel, but... I mean, it's kind of been, I feel like it has been a little bit slow. I even I was watching Academics today, and he's like pivoting, DJ Academics. He's like, yo, I might have to cover some political shit. I might have to, because these hip hop motherfuckers there's nothing to talk about with these people, because that's what he covers, is that type of genre and topic. So he's covering Logan Paul, political shit, whatever. You just have to mix it up, I guess. I don't know. I guess maybe this is Candace's thing of like the next thing. Because she's not dumb. She's not dumb unless she really is going through like a mental health crisis or something. Something's happening with her.
Totally.
Okay.
Totally.
Just the tweet alone had over 100,000 retweets and 45 million impressions on X alone. This was front page.
Listen, impressions on X doesn't mean anything. Like, it actually, buddy, my tweets about my cat photos get like 100,000 impressions. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the impressions on X.
Global news from the United States to Russia. It's now been a full week since I made that announcement. And here is the official response issued by the Elysee Palace.
Yeah, nothing. I saw this part too. So yeah, those are the Kino boys. They're pretty funny. They do commentary and stuff. Also, I saw this last night. Apparently, Nick Fuentes and Ian Carroll are kind of like getting into it also. I'm going to play a clip. They're both kind of, because Ian's on Candace's side, and I think he's been on Candace's show and all this stuff, and he's, I guess, really big on Twitter and YouTube. But Nick Fuentes is not.
Carroll, the conspiracy theorist, he's making...
This is so crazy. There's so much shit going on with this situation and these people.
Ian Carroll, the conspiracy theorist, he's making videos about the conspiracy behind Red Lobster, the conspiracy behind Applebee's, the conspiracy behind Burger King. He does a live stream tonight and says, where are you, Nick? We're all aligned on this against the Jews, and you are agreeing with Crowder and Tim Pool and everybody else. We need you. Why are you with them? And I would say with Ian Carroll, where's the evidence? What even is that? Everything other than evidence. They're going to say, well, Israel kills everybody else. Okay, people die all the time, actually. People die all the time, and there are a lot of school shootings and assassinations. This stuff happens with regularity. Was Israel behind Luigi Mangione? Why or why not? Was Israel behind the school shooting in Colorado that happened on the same day? Why or why not? Was Israel behind the shooting of Trump? Why or why not? I don't know if any of those people blamed Israel for the shooting of Trump. Was Israel behind the Las Vegas shooting? Why or why not? Because the heuristic seems to be Israel is behind literally everything. Literally everything. Not most things, not things we can demonstrate with evidence.
It's really interesting because I thought Nick was kind of the one that propagated all that shit with Israel. But even he has like stepped back. I'm not saying fully, but he stepped back and be like, yo, this is getting a little ridiculous. Like everything is these people.
No, they're behind literally everything. And if they're behind literally everything in the past, then it's safe to assume they're behind literally everything in the future. And that is ridiculous.
Even Nick has like stepped back. It's crazy.
That doesn't make any sense. Why? Charlie Kirk was Israel's top guy. I don't know how much more clear you can make it. And here's a perfect example. Hey, Ian Carroll, why did you on September 7th of this year tweet at Charlie Kirk, you're working for the Jews that killed Jesus? On September 7th, 2025, you tweeted that Charlie Kirk is working for the Jews that killed Jesus. On September 11th, you were absolutely certain that Israel killed him because he was this close to telling the truth, and he died for it. So what changed in those 4 days exactly? What irrefutable proof did you get in those 4 days? On September 7th, you said Charlie Kirk is working for the Jews that killed Jesus. On September 11th, the day after he was killed, you were certain, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Israel killed him to silence him. How does that even happen? Before we had a suspect, before we knew any of the facts, any of it, you knew for sure they did it. So, do you have ESP? Are you omniscient? Do you have telepathy? I don't think so.
I really believe like what I don't know if Nick, I think Nick said that at some point, or I've seen some people online say it. The conspiracy. I'm not saying all. You know, there's a lot of conspiracies or some that have come true or were true. I'm not saying that everything is just whatever, but I I think it is. The crazier that you go, the deeper in the hole that you go, it keeps some of these people connected and thriving and like continuing this crazy shit. And that's where it's at. That's where the bread and butter is for some of these people. And you can never, like Ian Carroll and Candace Owens, you can never get out of it. She reminds me of some other nut job that I dealt with that I had to sue. She reminds me a little bit of that. And irony, she's getting sued. I don't know if she has other lawsuits coming, but.
This is a grift. This is a grift. It is intellectually lazy. It is dishonest. You are making assumptions that you cannot rationally make. And if you want to destroy your credibility, that's fine. If you want to destroy your credibility by blaming Israel for killing the #1 Israel defender in America, that is your business. But don't try to rope me into it and guilt me or whatever it is you're trying to do, saying, we're all on this side and you're over there. I've been over here, bro. Where were you? I've been over here. I was at Charlottesville, lest I remind you. Where were you in 2017? Were you at Burning Man? Sorry, were you in some commune in Portland? I was at Charlottesville in 2017. He goes, we're all over here fighting the good fight. You and who? You and Candace Owens, who was working at Daily Wire last year?
Yo, for real, that's true.
You and Candace Owens, who was working at Daily Wire. You and Tucker Carlson, who was working at Fox News. In 2017, 10 years ago, I was at Charlottesville. In 2019, I led the Groyper War against Charlie Kirk, calling him an Israel shill. It is 2025. Sure. Nothing has changed. For 13 years, from the time Charlie founded Turning Point until today, that organization was owned by Israel and served Israel, and everyone knows that. In June of this year, Charlie texted Dinesh D'Souza and said, Nick Fuentes is vermin. We've been fighting him for 6 years. He's anti-Semitic. In August, he said, I'm anti-Semitic garbage and I need to be censored, and he would never debate me. That was in August. People want to point out, oh, well, he was leaning in the other direction.
Yeah, the text message.
He wasn't leaning in the other direction. His right-hand man, Andrew Colvett, comes from Salem Media. Look at who's involved in Salem Media. It is a Christian Zionist outfit. It is in bed with Israel. You want to know how I know that? Melissa Straight used to work there. From Prager University, she also used to work for Unit 8200 in the IDF. That's where Andrew Colvett comes from, and he was Charlie Kirk's right-hand man. Charlie Kirk appointed Andrew Colvett to lead their struggle session about Israel after the Turning Point SAS conference in July. When Israel bombed Qatar in contravention of Trump's own foreign policy, who did Charlie Kirk invite on the show to do Hasbara and explain the party line? Ben Shapiro. While Charlie Kirk played devil's advocate, he lended his platform to Ben Shapiro to give Israel's position. And on Wednesday, the day he was shot, Charlie Kirk met with his rabbi to prepare him to defend Israel at Provo. As he was writing his forthcoming book about the Jewish Sabbath. And this is the guy that was martyred for fighting Israel? If you think that, I feel sorry for you. Because
I watched Amazing Lucas last night too, and I don't agree with a lot of the stuff. I used to watch him a long time ago, then he shifted, and I stopped watching, and then he's made a comeback, and it's working out for him really good. And I have to say, I'm happy that it's working out for him, even though I disagree with the stuff that he says. But I saw a video that he posted yesterday, and he actually made some good points with this whole thing. He doesn't like anybody. Like he doesn't like, obviously doesn't like Fuentes, Candace Owens, Tim Pool, whoever else. But he made some good points, and he was like, these people. I forgot what. I don't want to play his whole video, but there was some part that was just so funny to me. Who was describing some of her followers. I don't know what part it is.
The open.
out in the open. She's taking pictures with fans, bruh. Taking pictures with fans. It's like, boom, how are you going to be in fear of your life for a $1 million assassination, but you out here taking pictures in a park or something, right? But you have to understand, because they have created this, white, ignorant, brain dead base. They've accumulated, right? They've been programming these people for quite some time. Honestly, I would say it's grooming. But
I honestly feel, I had said this the other day and then I saw a meme. I feel like Candace Owens is the new QAnon. I feel like she's the replacement for, has that movement kind of died out? I feel like she's kind of the replacement of that, and this is the new home for these people that will accept anything without any kind of evidence, any kind of proof. They'll walk off a cliff if she tells them to walk off a cliff. It's insane. Some people literally just need a follower and will not think for themselves. They'll walk off a cliff. I don't know. That's my thoughts on Candace. But it's working out for her. Man. It really is. Yeah, Lucas, he does have some good points, and he's an intelligent guy. And apparently, too, he tried to he was gonna debate the Hodge twins. I think he even went there in person to debate the Hodge twins. And I like the Hodge twins. I've been watching the Hodge twins for a long time, on and off. I remember when they started up and they were just like, they were working out, I think, and making these funny videos. They still do funny videos, but now it's like political. And he was supposed to debate them, and something happened. It didn't work out. Lucas made a video about it that got almost 500,000 views. And I never saw them address it, the Hodge twins. I was wondering what happened. According to Lucas, he was like owning them, and they started getting offended. They had some other guy there with them in the studio. Things didn't work out. They never posted the video. That would have been interesting to see. I would have loved to see that. But I guess it didn't happen. I don't know.
Because you are retarded. Ian Carroll says, we're all over here. Where's our general? Where's our guy? I'm right here where I've always been, following the facts, following the money, looking at the information.
Wait a minute. Did Milo talk about Benny Johnson? So Milo's going scorched earth. I don't know if you guys have ever heard. They say, and I don't know if it's true, because I feel like they say this about everybody. I don't know. I haven't watched this video, but my speculation is he's going to say Benny's into guys or something. Because there was some type of shit that they said. Let's just listen.
One of the most distinctive things about the right wing in this country is its homosexual overtones. Benny Johnson posts pictures of his children every 2 days. It's weird, and everybody knows.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
What went on with Benny Johnson in those lobbies and in those hotel rooms.
See, that's the rumor that I kept hearing about, but there was some guy that came out. I forgot what the story was. I don't know I guess they kissed or some shit. They say that supposedly, what's the name of the app? Grindr. They say Grindr supposedly spikes anytime there's like a Republican convention or whatever.
Sass. Everybody knows.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Men. Younger men, not underage. At least I don't know that. His wife was crying drunk in the lobby 3 sasses in a row about how her husband was upstairs with boys.
Come on.
Go ask her.
Come on.
Go ask her.
Come on, Milo.
I feel like he's an outrageous person, but I feel like he does know a lot of the inner shit that's happened with these people. He used to hang around a lot of these top people.
Go ask her.
Milo, aren't you ever scared of getting sued? You say something crazy. I'm sitting here like I am humbled by the lore and your ability.
The audacity.
There's no teapots in this room right now to express how I feel.
George, I have said these things about people for 20 years and never once in my career been sued. I've issued 3 corrections in my entire journalistic career because I get my facts right, and people know that they do not want to go through discovery.
Actually, I want to say this.
I've never been sued for anything I've ever said.
And so he's saying this on obviously a really big platform. Tim's. This was the recent interview, I guess, that I was just telling you about, that he went
about
on.
anyone.
The one thing I need to say this.
Because I'm right.
The most terrifying thing about Milo is that he knows all your secrets.
Oh no, he knows everybody.
He knows a lot of shit. I don't know if it's true or not, but he knows a lot of the industry stuff.
Trust me, I am terrified of Milo. I will never cross Milo. Milo is the one person that people say like, "Why are you friends with him?" Bitch knows too much.
I can't afford not to be. You want to be his enemy?
He knows too much.
Nobody wants to be his enemy.
Let me do not cross this dude. It's not worth it.
I was gonna say, Benny told you what? Did he get the dick out of his mouth long enough?
Oh my God, Milo, you can't say these.
Yes, I can because it's real and it's true.
Milo, stop.
You can't say it because you want to maintain your friendships. I can say it because I care
like you've never met Milo.
This you can't.
I know. No, I'm trying to help him.
You're not helping.
Okay,
I think you'll be fine.
Guys.
You can't even help you. You just came out of jail. I don't need tips from you about life.
Let's turn the volume from 11 to at least 10.
Yes.
But I want to say this.
I will just say,
when we were talking about how there's people who come to me and they say, Tim, we'll be the guardrails for you and you'll be the biggest.
Faggotized.
What they're really saying is, Tim, when you catch someone at a convention doing blow,
don't say the drugs.
Anything.
Don't say the gay sex. Don't say the bad stuff because we've made an investment in that. That's an asset of ours.
Agreed.
And we want to protect it.
Yep.
Benny Johnson.
Well, I'm not saying anything about Benny.
Put your queen.
I'm just
crown
saying.
back on, Queen.
It's a king crown, actually.
Damn, Benny's taking shots. He's taking strays. Jeez. I had heard about this a while back, but I don't know. Look at this shit. Last night, our vehicle approached our property. We talked about it. No one was hurt. Milo says, "Was it something I said?" Better watch out, fucking around with some of these people, man. I don't know. Candace, Tim. I mean, what's his name? Benny. Damn, bro, that's fucking crazy. Benny Johnson catching strays. Jeez. It's interesting that a lot of people are maybe people haven't heard about this because I'm seeing it being posted everywhere now. Maybe they never heard about this rumor with Benny. No, this is crazy. What the hell? Bombshell ex-TPA employee exposes underage boozing, stripper vans, and straight up Mossad recruitment. No, let's check it out. I don't believe that. There's no way.
My name is Joshua Peterson. I'm a former representative for Turning Point USA, and I have a story to tell about when I was at training at Turning Point. So the first couple nights went as you would expect. It's pretty long and strenuous work. We were being trained very vigorously. And
somebody says his nickname is BJ. What would you expect?
After the first few days, we were told that we were going to have some group time. And the first thing that I thought about that was that's going to be awesome. We get a group bond and stuff like that. And I get to hang out with my leader. However, this was not the case. We were going to be going out with our former representatives that had shown up from previous years and had been at training in previous years. And they were going to be the ones that were going to show us around the city. So I get paired up with these two specific people who I cannot name currently, but they take us out. And the first thing that I found very odd about, this Christian conservative company is they rented 2 stripper vans to take us out to the city. No strippers, but it was like there were stripper poles inside the vans. Very odd, very unlike, their values, but okay. And then once we got down to the bars in Arizona, they started getting us drunk. The former reps were, and very drunk at that. And then they started singling out people, and they would pull them out one by one to go outside and smoke like a cigarette. Now, when it was finally my turn to go and talk to them, they approached me and they asked me, "Hey, what are your views on Israel?" And I just told them, I think Israel's a good country. At the time, I thought so, at least. And they told me, "Okay, well, what do you think about, Mossad and, Israeli forces?" And I was like, "They're all right, yeah." And they were like, "What if we told you we're part of, Israeli groups and forces?" And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And I'm like, "And you work for Turning Point, right?" And they were like, "Yeah, we do. We've been working for Turning Point for the past 4 or 5 years now." Now, at the time, I did not know if the company knew of this. I did not know if they were infiltrating the company by any means, but they were Israeli agents within Turning Point USA, and I knew that there were more as well. and there was many more of them in Turning Point, and it was a very concerning thing for me and a couple of the representatives that we noticed. And we did end up bringing it up to our administration at Turning Point that this was going on, and they said they would take care of it. And sure enough, nothing was done about it. There was absolutely zero retaliation towards those representatives that were a part of Israel, and there was nothing. And that was very disappointing to see, and honestly a huge red flag for a lot of us.
Okay.
Also, bloody hell, mate, are you not a bit worried that you might get murdered?
Well, I think everyone in the world, after you watch Charlie get publicly executed, sensed fear. If you were in the public sphere, I think you probably felt, whoa, chill. Every person, I think, realized, wow, this is not, we're in politics and we are, and worry about died.
All right. Oh, Tim Pool canceled his show. Canceled his coming. Oh, Tim Pool says Brandon Tatum canceled his coming on the show because Tim didn't know he was booked. What? Tim Pool says Brandon Tatum canceled coming on his show because Tim didn't know he was booked, and that offended him. He then goes on to say that his post, like other. Okay, let me just play this. It's 8 minutes long. I don't want to have to listen to 8 minutes, but
I kind of just complain about things.
You're not malleable, so you're not of value to them after you tell them that. No?
Indeed, absolutely.
Right.
So there are personalities out there that, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw some shade. How do we do that? Brandon Tatum.
Shade.
Don't do
Oh,
it.
shit.
Please.
No.
Feed it directly into my brain.
He canceled on us. He once canceled on us because we were actually at Turning Point. And I bumped
names I can't even say on this show.
I bumped in.
And I love all of them.
So
his truck's not paid off.
Okay. So
all that money.
Wait, this is his truck's not paid off?
Bumped in.
And I love all of them.
So
his truck's not paid off.
Okay.
How does he even know this shit?
So all that money from Israel, and he still hasn't paid his truck off.
So when people say 7K, I'm just like, bro, with all due respect, his posts are so over the top, pro-Israel, and ineffective.
70. Yeah.
Well, no, he should be like he's being paid less. They're terrible.
He it's kind of, it's funny he came out to support Candace. I didn't see that coming, actually. Black thing. But I thought it was interesting, an interesting alliance or temporary alliance, because he's like inverse Candace, like where she is a genius, like media, like mastermind. He the dumbest. I'm not going to say the word. I've never seen anybody like get.
I don't want to get too specific on a person, on an individual.
Excuse me. Some of the behavior that I have.
No. I'm not trying to. I'm saying I want to have a broader idea conversation and not just.
We can move on.
We can complain about people, but basically what I'm seeing is tons of people that are clearly getting paid to promote Israel.
Yep.
It's vomitous.
Yes.
Tons of people who are getting busted doing these cringe campaigns they're not disclosing. Vomitous. People who are chasing the dragon on the anti-Israel stuff. Largely irrational. And
creepy.
Candace is a component of this. The vagaries of her show is demoralizing. And when I look at the field of conservatives and I say, I am putting myself at risk with death threats, with having to hire security for everything I do. My wife can't go to the grocery store having a security guard with her. For these people? Now, for the regular people, I'd crawl over broken glass.
Yeah.
But this space is dominated by wealthy individuals
who don't pay their trucks off.
Indeed, but who they have disdain for the regular person,
and they're pushing things that people don't believe in. George, you actually were a politician. I know that you don't agree with what Candace says. I know that you don't like a lot of her opinions. What's the actual psephological electoral consequence of this universe we have with people who are maybe untouchable and ungovernable? You would say like going wild over here, and then a highly, tightly, sinisterly, that's not a word, like controlled cabal moving like a shoal of fish over here. What's it going to do if it's not checked? Because my argument is we should have that meltdown now. What happens if we do, and what happens if we don't?
So I disagree with you. I'm back in the conversation now.
Well, that's because I thought you left.
No. The control of government. Hold on.
Principally,
Okay. The Liver King. Apparently, this guy I don't know, was making threats or wanted to fight Joe Rogan and all this stuff. There was charges pressed against him. Apparently the charges were dropped on him. And you would think that, okay, you know, I learned my lesson. Let me walk away from this shit. Let me leave this alone. Because I think he was like supposedly threatening Joe Rogan. Well, apparently he's back at it after the charges were dropped.
Still challenging Joe Rogan to a fight in the greatest country of the cosmos. Booyah, Texas. It's a friendly state. You're new to Texas. I'm a Texan. And I am a proud Texan. Dinner, mosh pit, fight, dinner, fist bump pound. What's good and true? Big bully, when you get into a position and people start to believe you and you have leverage and you have influence, you're an influencer. Joe, you're an influencer. Mainly good and true. You like liver, sun, fun stuff, the 12 ancestral tenets. You do all of them. You preach all of them, which is why I don't want to boycott you, because you net profitability, good and true. You net
I don't know what the hell is going on.
that. That's good and true. But what you did is when you talk about another man, and that man is me, I'll tell you why. It's stronger than time. It's a principle. Fist bump pound, I lock it down. It's family. Family. Okay.
What happened to this guy?
You can't run forever. You're gonna eventually have to say something. Oh, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. Freedom of speech, we say, but we don't really do. Really? That's weird. Charlatans we are.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that guy. If he has family and loved ones, this should probably. I mean, you probably some people you just can't help. Like some people don't want to be helped. So how do you tell them? Oh, you know, let's get you a therapist. Fuck yeah! Oh, you know, pull a gun out on you or something. What are you gonna do with that? Okay, I guess maybe that's it for now. Maybe we'll jump off now. I just wanted to kind of come on and just watch all the craziness that's happening, the beef. I guess. The Trump administration has removed Martin Luther King Jr. Day and Juneteenth from the list of free entry days for National Park Service sites, replacing them with a free admission on Donald Trump's birthday. That happens to be Flag Day. Well, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for now, man. I hope you guys have a good Saturday, chill Saturday. I will be around. I'll definitely be around. I'm just going to be kind of cleaning and hanging out. But if anything happens crazy, I'll jump on either here or the main channel for YouTube. Being autistic doesn't free you from accountability. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're saying the pipe bomber guy was, what did they say? They said he was autistic-like, his neighbors. And his grandma was saying that he wouldn't hurt a fly. They're saying he was autistic-like. Scroll up to the top. Autistic-like pipe bomb suspect. The neighbor said he's like autistic. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He would never do anything like this. They also said in court his mother broke down crying. Was it mother? It was the mother.
Side of the DC courtroom where the alleged pipe bomber was just arraigned. I'm sitting in my car right now. I just witnessed the alleged pipe bomber come out. I got to see him. I made contact with his family. I sat coincidentally in the row that they were sitting in right in front of them. So I turned around and I saw all of them. They were there. His mother broke out in tears. That was really something notable. When he walked out from the back, she just started sobbing. It was very genuine. Usually I can tell when somebody's like, you know, being not genuine, but her tears were real. Obviously she's his mother, and she was being comforted by various family members that were there. There were about 10 of them. He came out from the back.
I mean, maybe he's high functioning. I mean, nobody's officially said he was diagnosed like that, but maybe he's a high functioning autistic person.
The U.S. Marshals walked him out. He sat at the table where his defense attorney was waiting for him. That defense attorney, I understand, came down from New York today. I'm not sure if this attorney was present when he was being questioned for 4 hours yesterday by federal agents. So yesterday there was a 4-hour quote unquote confession by the alleged pipe bomber. Today he was arraigned by magistrate judge. I'm going to read you her name. It's a mouthful. her name is Magistrate Judge Maxilla Apa.
I don't know. Interesting. But I'm going to hop off, guys. Yo, you guys are crazy. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Peace. Thanks so much for watching. Please follow if you're not following.